Hey everyone, this is James from Wealthquest. Hey, today I want to talk about this idea of writing big checks. You know, this is something that maybe some of us are dealing with right now. If you're buying a house or you're planning a big vacation or you're doing something that involves some big outlay of cash, there's always this trembling hand that you're writing that check with. There's always a sense of anxiety and fear as you approach that big check. And I want to just think for a second about why that happens. You know, I had a client just recently buy a house, and it was their dream house. It was something they'd been planning on and saving for a really long time. And when it came time to do it, they were still terrified. No matter how much work we did on the front end, no matter how clearly we planned all these things out, when they had to actually write the check, there was a lot of anxiety around that. And so as I dug into that with some of the conversation I was having with them, what I realized is those thoughts that we're having are driving a lot of that anxiety, and those thoughts are not really connected to the clear-headed plan that we made. You know, we had planned on buying this house. We had already mapped everything out. The thought that they were having in that moment wasn't really related to the plan. The thought that they were having was, I'm giving up some security. I'm letting go of this thing that makes me feel safe. And if we can recognize where that anxiety is coming from when it comes time to write the big check, and instead remind ourselves the thoughts we were having right up until we wrote the check, right? The thoughts they were having about this house, the thoughts that you were having about the vacation you're about to book, all of the thoughts that got you to today were exciting and energizing, and there were lots of things you were looking forward to. But in the moment, when you have to write the check, those aren't the thoughts you're having a lot of times. A lot of times those thoughts we're having are what we're giving up, what we're sacrificing, what we're losing. I just want to remind you, if you're in that space where you're about to have a big check, you're going to have to stroke a really big check to do something you've been excited about doing, or to buy something you've been looking forward to buying, remind yourself of those thoughts you were having going up to that moment. Don't let that moment steal those thoughts from you and replace them with things like, I'm giving up a lot of security here, I'm letting go of the thing that makes me feel safe. Remind yourself that what you're gaining is this experience you've always wanted, this home you've always dreamed of. That's what you're getting by writing this check. It's worth it, right? If you've planned this all out clearly, writing that check is worth what you're getting. You don't need to think so much about what you're losing in that moment. I hope that's helpful as you approach those days. I hope that you are spending this summer with lots of great shared experiences, and you're enjoying the use of these resources to invest in your family. And I hope you have a great weekend doing just that. We'll talk to you next week.